There's never been a better time for a trailer breakdown for Thor, Love and Thunder.
Why's that?
Question, why are you here? What's happened here? Why are there two people?
I don't know.
This is a one-person job.
That's true. Well, I could derail a lot of stuff you're going to try and say. You're going to try and sort of provide pure facts. And I'll be like, "Grr," you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
My classic catchphrase. Grr.
Look, leave a like for whatever this is going to be. But we're going to cover some of the key points from the new Thor trailer, including the villain, Gorr the God Butcher, the various costumes that we're seeing, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the reappearance of Jane Foster, who's missing from the trailer, the release date, and some other bits and pieces going on. Maybe I'll start things off, Mason. Would you like the official synopsis, just to get everybody in the right mood?
Sure, something nice and dry. Here we go. But bear in mind, I'm ready to go good any moment.
Any second.
Just to liven it up a little.
The film finds Thor, Chris Hemsworth, on a journey unlike he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. But his retirement is interrupted by a galactic killer known as Gorr the God Butcher, Christian Bale, who seeks the extinction of the gods. To combat this threat, Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson, Korg, Taika Waititi, and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster, Natalie Portman, who, to Thor's surprise, inexplicably wields his magic hammer, Mjolnir, as the mighty Thor. Together they embark upon a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mystery of the God Butcher's vengeance and to stop him before it's too late.
Harrowing, they said.
That's what they say.
Probably also hilarious,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Now, there's some interesting visuals in this trailer.
Yes.
You pulled up a tweet from Comic Trope, so I'm sure he's not the only person to figure this out. But you know what? We're giving him full credit here.
Well, there is
for what he's done.
there is a shot where we see Falagar the Behemoth, who is a god of the galactic frontier. We just see his corpse. It has been killed presumably by Gorr, and it is a dead on recreation of the art from that particular series of Thor by Esad Ribic.
Yeah.
Just straight up it's a real homage there, you know?
The difference in the movie as well is, for one, it's live action, and two, Korg's there.
Korg is there,
like,
that's
I'm
true.
also here.
Yes, it's true.
So in the comics, Gorr the God Butcher, he's someone whose family were murdered.
That's correct,
And
yes.
being a prior man or alien of faith.
He was like, why didn't the gods step in?
Yeah,
they're around. They're all about. They're flying about.
Yeah.
They're running through the forest in various costumes.
That's right,
Why aren't
exactly.
they helping me? And then he gets a little upset.
Yep.
And he acquires the Necro Sword,
That's
which
right.
is an enchanted weapon.
Yep.
Created by Null, the god of the symbiotes.
That's right, yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to chop some gods up with this.
It's interesting that they could get that also, because you'd think that being a Venom, linked to Venom, that it might be a Sony-owned
I think he's
sword.
probably just going to have a regular sword.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to have a samurai sword that he bought at like the place you get Funko Pops.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Dude, can I buy that sword?
I mean, if I take it down off the shelf, you have to buy it.
Dude, I'm going to kill so many gods with this. This is going to be sick.
Yeah, but you see, in the toys, you see it is like a black kind of decrepit sword, and you see his hands have like almost like a black kind of like infection kind of, going over them. So it's probably got some kind of effect on his psyche and physical
maybe
well-being.
it was his squid ink fettuccine that he had for lunch.
Maybe it was. Exactly. But there's going to be some other gods in this, and we actually do see one, that being Russell Crowe's Zeus. We only see the back of his head. It also reminds me of that recent ad where Arnold Schwarzenegger played Zeus at a Kia commercial or whatever it was.
Yeah, it looks very fake in a way that is obviously meant, it's meant to be deliberate.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if, we see Olympus and it's this absolutely beautiful kind of multi-tiered, multi-layered sort of world where platforms are just floating in midair, and it's beautiful architecture and beautiful kind of lush gardens just hanging in the middle of nowhere. And then we've got Zeus, who's just flinging around this weird tin lightning bolts, which I get, maybe it's his equivalent of Mjolnir. Like maybe it is in fact super powerful, but it looks ridiculous, quite frankly.
Yeah, and also with the Marvel comics, like it is with the Norse mythology, they're not actually gods. It's like a weird pocket dimension on the other side of the galaxy or whatever, where all these people exist.
I mean, you say that.
Yeah.
But are the Egyptian gods aliens, or are they real gods?
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
So maybe
Zeus,
maybe Olympian gods are real gods.
Yeah.
But they're probably not. Also, here's a question: do you think we're going to see Hercules in this? And if so, who do you think it's going to be?
Do you think it will be Kevin Sorbo?
No.
Do you think it'll be someone else?
Yes.
So Hercules exists in he's in the DC and Marvel universe because he's out of copyright, obviously.
Yeah.
But so what's the deal with the Hercules version in Marvel?
It's Hercules.
It's just Hercules straight up. Yeah.
He's going on some legendary journeys. But it's interesting as well, I think, that the Thor in the MCU is significantly wackier than the Marvel comic book
Yes.
Thor. So he's kind of taken the role of Hercules. Marvel Comics Hercules is quite like he's all about wine and women and song and having a grand old time, and he's very camp and silly, I think.
Yeah.
And that role has kind of been taken. So where do you go with this? Maybe they'll be great drinking buddies.
Maybe we'll get
a very serious Hercules. I don't know.
There's also been rumors, and this came via the Cosmic Circus, that Bast is going to make an appearance, and that's
the cat god.
Yeah, the panther god, and she's going to have a battle with Gorr also.
Oh.
So yeah, but that's also someone who's probably a god, maybe, I think. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, you mentioned Mount Olympus, so we see a few kind of key locations in this, one being that and another being New Asgard, which looks like some kind of tourist destination now. There's cruise liners and little tours you can do and all of that.
And council meetings.
Local
council meetings. King Valkyrie's, but she's there. She's fought her way to the top with a skill and bravery, and then people are like, what night should people be putting the bins out? Should it be Wednesday?
Exactly, yeah. And you can see why, I think Thor made the right decision being like, I don't want to do any meetings. I don't want to do a goddamn thing. You know what I mean? It makes sense. But apparently...
I don't want to do a me damn thing, quite frankly.
Apparently, though, her story is going to be her looking for a queen. So, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, it's been confirmed that character in the MCU is queer. So, we're going to be seeing more of that. Yeah.
So, instead, Thor is, rather than doing that, he's just going to, first of all...
He needs to get in shape.
He needs to get back in shape. So
he's got his strongest Avenger hat on.
Which is a little debate that was, had between him and Hulk, who is the strongest Avenger. So, that's official merch now? Did he have that made?
He probably had it made. Also,
went to Everpress.
I think also it's possible that he is stronger than the MCU version of Hulk. Well, first of all, we haven't really seen the upper limits of the Hulk's strength really as of yet.
Yes.
But they've fought before, and Thor has mostly ended up on top.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Depending,
Yeah.
So yeah, that might actually be true.
But he's got like we said, he's got a husky Thor has to regain his buff bod.
Yes, exactly.
And so he's doing what I think is a move straight out of Chris Hemsworth's Center app.
Oh, yeah.
He's well
with the big chains.
Well in those jump ropes, but now they're just enormous chains in front of another dead creature.
The giant skeleton.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a hint towards, a god that died, or maybe it's just, there are giants.
A big man that died.
Maybe it's just a big man that died, but there are giants.
I was just going to say Thor's off on his journey. He's kissing randos.
Yep, exactly.
He's making eyes at Star-Lord.
Yeah.
He's getting all over the place.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the Guardians, it looks like he joins the Ravagers for a time. He goes through a number of costume changes in this trailer, and that's his Ravager outfit. And I think they probably go on adventures to start with, and then they decide to leave him behind. Also, that team, I think it lessens the impact of everybody else if you just have Thor on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they're all...
They're going to have to set him aside and be like, listen, Thor, here's the thing. You're making us all look bad. We're kicking you out of the airlock.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think they're probably going to be at the first fraction of the movie, and then they're going to move on from there. We also get kind of that moment of... We see young Thor running through the woods, and then he becomes a skinnier, grown-up Thor running in his traditional costume.
Yeah, the classic comic book costume, with some real Jack Kirby vibes.
Exactly.
Added to the list of Vision and Wanda and old Loki.
Yeah,
classic
exactly.
Old Loki
yeah,
look. Bringing it back to the classic look.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen that. We've seen his helmet before. It was very briefly wore something similar in the first movie, and also Ragnarok. He had a
that's true.
Thor kind of helmet. But then we see what's pretty much the version from Thor 1. And if you look closely, does he have the dyed eyebrows?
Oh, I don't know, James. I don't know.
Yeah. But there's a few other costumes, though. There's one where he's wearing a big furry kind of coat.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm liking the new look. I'm
situation.
liking the new blue and gold sort of Nova Corps-esque
so
costume.
That's the other one as well. And that seems to take inspiration from his battle armor, which is from Thor number 378 from 1987. And the idea behind that is that Hela placed a curse on him where his bones were really brittle and break easily, so to wear this battle armor. And every now and then he'll bust it out for... I don't know, when he has to fight a big dragon, I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever he's up to.
It's like Wonder Woman's golden armor, her golden chicken armor in Wonder Woman 84.
Exactly. Yeah. It's exactly like that. I do like the look of that. We saw it leaked in toys before as well. But
yeah, it looks really good.
The other thing is, if you see, you get a good look at him up close a couple of times, and he's got two blue eyes.
Yeah, I thought about that. So for people who perhaps don't remember, he did get one torn out by Hela, and he got it replaced by a bionic eye.
Like a yellowy kind of eye.
So his eye regenerated via magic.
I guess.
Or is there going to be a scene where the bionic eye is pushed out by the real eye being regrown? Or just put a contact in.
Just put a contact in, that's right. I mean, maybe if it's a mechanical eye, you can change the color of it. But he can heal generally pretty well. Like he
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
there's older versions of Thor that's like missing an arm and he can't heal from that.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know what the deal is with eyes.
Just
Yeah.
some random observation here. He can now hook Stormbringer to the front of a ship.
Yes.
And it's got some sort of navigational or
Bifrost weaponry
generating ability.
thing.
Yeah, because he transferred his way into the battlefield in
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
So I guess now he can bring a little boat along.
Bring a little boat
For his
along.
retirement, his little retirement dinghy.
On the front of that boat also, we see both Tooth Gnasher and Tooth
Grinder?
who are his two
goats.
magical goats,
Yeah.
which are going to get a lot of play in this movie.
We also see
believe.
where he meets a beautiful blue-haired lady and they have a little hiss. There's also a giant squid of some sort or a giant octopus in the background.
Oh, really? I didn't see
Seems to
that.
be recently slain. So
Okay, cool.
just hanging out and
hanging out.
Just hanging out and kissing in front of the giant dead octopus. Good on him, I say.
That's fun. And speaking of kissing,
Go on.
we get the
I'm listening.
We get the reappearance of Jane Foster. That seems to be that shot of her is from Earth. There's like a car behind her.
Yeah.
But then again, it could be that junk planet or whatever where all the rubbish falls down in. But here's a thought, and I don't think this is correct. But do you think there's any chance that this isn't the original Jane Foster? And off the back of Multiverse of Madness, she's from a dimension where she's the mighty Thor.
She's the OG Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, great question.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case, no.
But I just think with Multiverse of Madness between this and that, it's a possibility.
Can I just a quick question?
Sure.
And maybe this is kind of a basic one. Is that Natalie Portman?
That is 100% Natalie Portman.
All right.
What if it wasn't?
What if it wasn't? I'm just saying, like, maybe
I think that mask is doing its job.
Yeah,
because in the comics,
it was a mystery initially.
you don't know who it was, and it turns out that we find out, and we don't know what the truth behind this is yet, but Jane Foster has severe cancer, like in its final stages, and is using and has found Mjolnir and is using it to do good stuff.
Look, I'll be honest with you, James. Yeah. We've recently for Caravan of Garbage covered all the Star Wars prequels, and she's had so many costumes and hairstyles in that. I think it's destroyed my brain.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
So please forgive me. The other thing that we should need to point out though is that again, obviously Mjolnir has been put back together.
Yes,
it's obviously not
you can
entirely
see,
whole, but it's
you can see the cracks in it.
Yeah.
So there's been some footage from behind the scenes, some imagery of Odin's shrine, and that's where the hammer is left, and it's probably where it was shattered. You probably can't pick up the pieces, I'd imagine.
Yeah, right.
And in the comics, that's on the moon, and Jane Foster goes and gets it.
Oh.
And she's deemed worthy.
Okay.
But I do wonder whether if it's formed back together from her touching it, or whether it's going to be Peter Dinklage's character
who reforges it.
Who reforges it, because a quote from him when he was asked about it was, well, there's another Thor movie, isn't there, coming out that Taika directed, but I didn't say anything.
Oh, he did say something, though.
He said
That's the
something,
twist.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he's going to be the one to reforge it, but it seems like he's going to be making an appearance.
And the question, of course, is what makes Jane Foster worthy?
Yeah.
She gonna just good at science and that?
We don't really know at this point.
No, it's a bit vague.
Yeah.
Also, maybe that enchantment doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that's true also.
The inscription was blown up, so maybe
maybe it's a newer inscription if it was built back together that, it's
let's get some anagrams together.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, I got to say though, that helmet that she's wearing, that's a very difficult look to pull off.
Agreed.
Like a solid metal helmet with big wings on it. But just from what we've seen, I think that looks really good. I think that's why they've been avoiding a lot of the Thor helmets, we only see them briefly, or an alternate design, because it's
That's right, because Hemsworth looks bad in helmets. There we go. We've found his one weakness. Finally, that's what all of this has been leading up to.
Exactly. So there's a few other things that are missing from this trailer, which I'd like to quickly mention.
Here's one. Maybe it's on your list.
Sure.
Gamora is not in the Guardians, or at least she's not on that ship. And obviously
Nebula is, but
yes, Gamora obviously died in the Infinity Saga, and then a version of her was brought back through time, but it's not the version.
Doesn't have any of the memories.
And no memories, no love for Peter Quill. So she's not, and she left, and the Guardians were on a quest perhaps to find her again. Not in this, but again, Marvel love to lie. So maybe she is on the ship.
No,
or maybe that's what they're on the quest to do now.
I think Volume 3 is where they're going to do that.
Yeah,
like a big part of that movie will be that, and probably also the Christmas special that they're also filming at the same time. Speaking of other people that are missing, there's a moment where Thor and Korg are standing next to each other, and there's a huge gap where a third person could potentially stand. These Marvel movies, they are rife with the trailers, I should say, with like putting in things and taking out stuff, which...
James, you can say lies. It's okay.
With lies. They love a big lie. Well, I mean, we love a big lie here.
That's true.
So is it a Jane Foster? Is it a Peter Dinklage? Is it a Christian Bale? Probably not. They probably wouldn't be standing together.
True. Is it DC Pearson's character from the computer shop in Captain America, the Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
You know, it could also be, or maybe I'd like to see an appearance of Beta Ray Bill. We have had hints towards him.
Yeah. For people who don't know, the horse-faced alien who gained the powers of Mjolnir briefly and then got his own hammer called Stormbreaker. So
yes. Could be Throg, who we know exists.
Could be Throg, the Frog Thor. Yes, that's true.
So Chris Hemsworth actually voiced Throg as well in a deleted scene for Loki that they didn't put in. There was going to be a scene where he was beating up a bunch of people in the TVA. And I don't know, for whatever reason they took it out. Maybe it was time constraints. But yeah, he actually came back for that. There's another few people that are confirmed. Sif is apparently in this movie.
Okay.
So Jamie Alexander, because she couldn't be in the last Thor movie, they couldn't kill her as part of the Warriors 3.
Oh, no.
I think there was a scheduling conflict, which means luckily she can show up in this, you know?
Hey, we're actually, I know you've got this sweet gig. You're in these movies and stuff and you get a good paycheck, but we're going to kill you. No, I've got a scheduling conflict. I can't do it. Sorry.
It's also been confirmed that Sam Neill, Matt Damon, and Luke Hemsworth are coming back because, you know, they did that little play in the last one. So they're Thor and Odin and Loki.
Yeah, right.
As well. Melissa McCarthy is also confirmed as the actor who plays Hela in a little play.
Terrific.
But I guess that also, you know, means like, do you think we're going to get Loki? Because I think probably not. Maybe in like a post-credits, but I don't think this is a kind of a Loki story.
Unless that's the person who's missing in that in that trio there.
Or maybe it's just a shot where there isn't a person standing there.
Oh, that would be the best. Just some empty space and some wind whistling through it. I would love that in the final film.
So in terms of release date, this was actually supposed to have been out last November.
Right.
But of course, everything got pushed back for various reasons.
Name one reason.
I can't even think of a single reason.
Yeah, right. Laziness probably is the number one reason.
So now it's coming out around July 8th, depending where you are in the world. And apparently also, this is the shortest amount of time between a Marvel trailer coming out to when the movie is.
Ooh.
It's so close, this movie. But I guess they don't want to step on top of Multiverse of Madness.
That's true.
But also, you've got to start kind of ramping up to promote these things.
But do you really need to at this point?
Yeah, you need to let people know it's at least coming out.
Like I think you know, enthusiasm for the MCU has sort of ebbed and flowed, especially over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, with limited access to cinemas and some of the TV stuff has not been received as well as it could have. But I watched this and I'm like, damn, it's back.
Yeah.
MCU's back,
It does
baby.
look good. And it doesn't have like a lot of people talked about like the look of it and the color. Like there's not that kind of gray kind of, it's not a filter, but you know what I mean? That kind of color palette that a lot of the movies have. I like that they're kind of getting away from that. More and more. But if people do have any theories, we'd love to hear them below because, you know, what's going on here? Tell us.
You know what? I reckon this scene with Jane Foster in the cars, I reckon that's set in the car park, that episode of Hawkeye where they fight the Kingpin or whatever.
Okay,
it's happening at the same time. I reckon it's concurrent.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, any theories that you got, leave them below. The other thing is we're currently doing Moon Knight recaps because it is month night.
That's right.
Over here at this YouTube channel. And you can actually see a bunch of stuff early on this channel, including bonus podcasts and movie commentaries and our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows every Monday. That comes out Sunday.
Hell yeah.
If you go to bigsandwich.co. Thank you to Matt for editing this together.
Thanks, Matt.
It's been a hell of a time. I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Thanks for stopping by, Mason. I do appreciate you happening to be at my house at the exact time we needed to record this.
Let me tell you this, pal. I'll never leave.
Oh, no.
That's right. I'm tucking myself into your bed right now. Hee hee hee.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye. The podcast thing as well. I said the podcast, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
It's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, good.